I'm Pete McCall, an NASM certified personal trainer. And on this video, I'm going to show you 5 moves for mobility specifically for the hips that can help you have a great start to your day or make you feel good anytime you're feeling just a little bit run down. So let's go ahead and get started. The first move we're going to do is called quadruped rocking. I'm going to take my right hand, right knee forward a little bit, left hand, left knee back, keep my spine straight, and just nice and easy, slowly rock forward and back. Just neutral spine, inhale forward, exhale as you sink back. We're not trying to go back that far, we're just trying to get a little movement all the way down the spine. Good, you want to do about 10 or 12 repetitions. So what we're doing, watch this from this angle now. I'm going to take the left hand and left knee forward, right hand, right knee back. You want to do about 10, 12, 15 repetitions on each side. And if you see this, when our shoulders and hips are offset, it creates a little rotation in the spine. That rotation feels really good right there at the SI joint. It's kind of like loosening up the nail on a piece of wood. So that's our first move, offset quadruped rocking. The second move in this mobility sequence is a little hip opener, an offset hip opener. My left knee is down here, my right leg is out to the side. I'm going to do these little mobility, just nice and easy little movements. All I'm doing is pushing my left knee right into the ground. As I do that, I'm getting a big stretch right through the adductors and right through the hip flexors. You want to make sure this knee, your right knee, is nice and straight. If this is pointed towards 12 o'clock, we want this pointed towards about 3 o'clock. You want to do about 10, 12 repetitions, just nice and easy. As you can see, I'm moving nice and easy. As I'm doing this, I'm pushing this knee down. But right here at the end, what I want you to do is hold for about 30 seconds. Now, here's why this feels so good. These hip flexor muscles attach right in the front of our hips to our lower spine. If you spend all day seated, those muscles get really tight. As then if you go to bed at night, you can kind of wake up the next morning and that back is feeling a little sore. So by stretching these hip flexors out like this, you can open that up and help release that stress on the back. I'm going to show you this from the other side. I'm going to put my right knee down here. I'm going to open up my left knee. And now just open up nice and easy. As you can see, I'm moving. My right hip is pointed at 12 o'clock. My left hip is pointed at 9 o'clock. I'm doing nice, easy, little rhythmic movements. Not going too far. Pushing this knee into the ground. Feeling oh so good. After about 10, 12 repetitions, I'm going to hold it for about 30 to 45 seconds. Really push that knee down. Feel that stretch. If you want to take the stretch a little bit deeper, squeeze your glute right here. When you squeeze the glute, it relaxes these muscles. So push the knee into the ground, squeeze the glute, and you get a little more range of motion out of the hips. The offset hip flexor stretch is our second mobility move to help us feel a lot better. The third mobility move is put both hands on both knees, lay flat on the ground, and just do nice big hip circles. You want your spine nice and flat. What I'm doing is I'm bringing my knees together and out to the side, together and out to the side. What this is doing, with our spine in a neutral position, we get more range of motion through the hip joint. That's really going to help those hips open up. A lot of times, if our back is sore, it's because the hips get tight. So that's why we're spending a lot of time focusing on the hips. Now I'm going the other direction of my hip circles. So we did 10 or 12 hip circles this way. Now we're going to do 10 or 12 hip circles going this way. Outside to in, outside to in. Keep the back nice and level on the ground. Breathe comfortably. Now, if you want to feel something really good, try this. Put this hand on this knee and rotate just this hip. So my right knee and my right hip are stable, and I'm doing nice big circles with that left hip. You want to do about 8 to 10 in one direction, and then 8 to 10 in the other direction. By keeping one hip stable and moving the other hip, we're taking that stretch a lot deeper into the hip tissues, and trust me, you will really feel the difference when you get up and move it. Now let's switch sides. So now my left hip is stable. I'm going to move that right hip. Again, about 8 to 10 circles in each direction. Nice big circles. And then switch and back. Nice big circles. Back is flat on the ground. Being nice and comfortable. This is a good position to be in. So that's what we're going to do with the hip circles. Knees together and out and in. And then one hip at a time to really loosen up through the hips. That's our third move. The next move for our hips is actually a little bit of an exercise. It's the glute bridge. But here's the thing. As you contract these muscles, you stretch these muscles. So palms up, that externally rotates the shoulders, get a little more range of motion. If you can see, my toes are pulled up towards the shins. I want you to push your heels into the ground as you lift your hips up towards the ceiling. When you squeeze here, you stretch here. So let's do about 6 more. Up and down. These are the glute bridges. Now for the last mobility move, we're just going to do a static stretch. A lot of those other moves, we're moving into it, moving through the range of motion. We're going to finish off here with a nice little static stretch. Right hand on the outside of the right knee. Left hand, reach down and grab that ankle. Lay it all the way back nice and comfortably. I'm talking to you, so I'm not laying down all the way. But as you're holding the stretch, push the other leg, push your left leg into the ground. After about 20 seconds, you can extend that leg, use the quadriceps. Anytime you contract one muscle, the muscles on the other side have to lengthen to allow that joint to go through a range of motion. Now I'm going to bring this back. Bring the knee up to the chest, push that little leg into the ground. Inhale, exhale. Oh, that feels really good. Now let's switch. Take this left knee up. Take this right knee. Take the left knee up. Grab the right, with the right hand, grab that left ankle, bring it in. Keep the right leg flat on the ground. Take that stretch into the left hip. Pull that knee up to the chest. Let's do this. Let's extend that leg. Squeeze. Bring it back. Keep that right leg flat on the ground. Oh, that feels great. Doing those 5 mobility moves can really loosen up a lot of the tightness in our hip muscles. If our hip muscles get really tight, it can make our back tight and sore. So doing those moves first thing in the morning or anytime throughout the day can help you feel a lot better. I'm Pete McCall. Thanks for stopping by.